Xavier Worthy, currently a projected first-round pick for next year's draft, and although he weighs less than Asante Samuel Jr., Emmanuel Forbes, and even Devontae Smith, he knows how to play ball. He came to Texas as a four-star recruit and quickly became the most explosive player on the team. As a freshman, he put up almost 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns, and then added 750 yards and 8 touchdowns in his sophomore season. He's won numerous accolades, including Big 12 Offensive Freshman of the Year, First Team All-SEC Punt Returner, and Second Team All-Big 12 as a wide receiver. His drop in numbers from his first year to second year can be attributed to the way Texas used him. He's used vertically often in his sophomore season and much less with the ball in his hands. His average depth of target was 17.6 yards, which was fifth among all wide receivers in the Power 5, and over 4 yards more than his freshman average. He had the 10th most yak yards in the Power 5 as a true freshman, and I expect Texas to transition him to more of an all-over-the-field role for his junior season, getting the ball on go routes, in the flat, screens, everywhere. A guy like him with his playmaking ability needs to get the ball often. But enough of the stats, let's take a look at his film. Before we get into the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more football content. Also, let me know which player you want me to look at in the next video. Worthy is a smaller dude, coming in at only around 170 pounds, but he is very twitchy and can threaten any defensive back with his speed. He has an impressive and polished set of releases that he uses based on how his man lines up against him. Against Kansas State here, the corner offers a soft press look. Not a good idea versus a guy like Worthy, but the DB does have inside safety help, so he's really just cheating to gain outside leverage. Worthy realizes this and gives the corner a quick hezzy outside before exploding upfield, quickly gaining an advantage in the route. He uses his speed to gain separation as the deep safety gains depth, and uses a heavy double move inside, creating the allure of an open window before dropping his hips and showing off his impressive change of direction skills for an easy touchdown. Worthy really showcases his full set of skills on this play. He can win off the release, has very good agility, speed, and change of direction, and understands how to manipulate coverage. Even for a smaller dude, he can win on the outside. Lined up as the X here against Alabama, he's going to run what looks like a deep curl/comeback, possibly an option route against one-on-one man coverage. But I'm highlighting this play to show that Worthy can play through physicality on the outside, and to show how his athletic ability compares to a guy like Kool-Aid McKinstry's, who's also a stud athlete. Xavier wastes very little time at the beginning of his routes, especially if he feels no pressure coming. He's quick to get downfield, has great footwork, and he gains immediate separation here. He does a lot of his work early on in routes, which leads to a successful end product. Kool-Aid is stuck on the back hip when Xavier drops his hips in a split second and creates a clean throwing lane for his quarterback, and he finishes it with a strong catch. His route tree is very diverse, and he can win all over the field. There's very little wasted effort in his routes in general. On this play, TCU sends an all-out blitz, so Worthy is facing another pure one-on-one, which is not good for the other team. In this scenario, the cornerback has to be more honest since he doesn't have help, and Xavier will need to do some work in order to win the route. This is why Worthy adds extra steps to his release as he looks to counter the DB's hands, but as soon as he feels the DB start to lean back, he explodes and attacks up the sideline, then does a great job of using his speed to stack the DB as the corner holds on for dear life. This is just showcasing how Worthy approaches different coverage scenarios and how he can win in basically every situation. Ends up with a big pass interference penalty there and a successful play for his offense. The most valuable skill a receiver can have is the skill of getting open, and this is done through release and route running, which are two things that Worthy does really well. Here against a cover one robber look from Washington, Worthy is manned up on the outside and he's going to be running a slant. He switches up his release yet again as he begins to work outside before shifting his weight inside and finishing off the slant. He wins the route as soon as he gets the cornerback to open his hips to the outside. His release timings are always on point. The corner, since he knows he's in a pure one-on-one situation, tries to play the inside, but Worthy's just so clean with his release that he gets him to open up and just gets open, makes a play. Now, I think he might be at his best when he's working out of motion, as this allows him to build momentum into his route and to get a clean release. Texas probably should have schemed this up more for him, as it had pretty high success rate. Here against Alabama, he gets motioned almost into a stack. This provides him much more space to work as a route runner, as he reaches the second level and is able to sell the go route with a head fake and win the outside before making a nice catch. His combination of route knowledge and change of direction makes him very difficult to cover in off coverage. There's a lot of different things you can do with him in motion. Here, Texas runs the reverse route that Kansas City ran against Philly a couple times in the Super Bowl, and they do it to perfection. Nobody in the defense has the speed to recover against Worthy. And to be honest, Kansas City would be the perfect destination for Xavier Worthy, with how much they love motioning the receivers and the way they love to use speed down the field. But I doubt he'll last that long in the draft with the skill set he has. Here, operating out of the stack on a deep corner, he sets up his route to convince the DB that he's running a post before a subtle and quick explosion to the outside. He's a master manipulator of tempo and rhythm and consistently creates separation. He also finishes this play off with a nice catch through some contact. I've mainly focused on his ability to win off the release and with routes in the medium areas of the field, but how about working deep? Well, with his speed, he does that at a high level too. Here against Alabama, he's going to be running a deep post against man coverage. He attacks the space from the off man, and right before he gets to the DB, he trigger steps and explodes at full speed out of his cut and turns the afterburner on. Textbook stuff, attacking the space and making the DB uncomfortable. He moves so quickly that the deep safety has no time to recover. Unfortunately, the throw was a little too far out and he wasn't able to make the catch, but he definitely showed off his speed on this play. And he can make grabs down the field. Here's another play against Alabama where he's going to create separation on a go route, but this time he's going to do a great job tracking the ball and making a tough diving grab. He flashes potential with his ability to adjust the balls downfield. More on that later. And when he poses such a deep threat to defenses, they're forced to respect him. Here against Iowa State, the curl easily opens up due to the space given up by the defensive backs. So Worthy opens up all levels of a defense, basically. He's also solid at catching through traffic and does do good work with the ball in his hands. He has the athletic ability and twitchiness to make defenders miss and go the distance if he gets some blocks. I will say this, sometimes his effort on routes will drop. Here he throws a lazy trigger steps and seems off balance at the top, which allows the DB to overpower him and disrupt his route. The effort drop was visible in rare occasions, but shouldn't be too much to worry about. He does struggle at times to track balls and doesn't like working over the middle. You were just late on the throw here, but Worthy really makes a mess of it when it should have just been a clean catch. Again here, he struggles to track the ball while working deep, and a big play is missed. His ability to locate the ball and adjust the passes is inconsistent and something that he needs to work on in order to reach the next level. He does great work to get open, but his finishing product isn't always clean. He also has random drops as he tries to catch with his body fairly often. Another thing he needs to work on. Opportunities come less often in the NFL, and you can't be letting them go like this. And here to top it all off, you get a mix of everything. He wins his route, gets open, but tracks the ball poorly. Although it's not the best pass, but he still needs to make a play here and ends up dropping the ball. His body leading him away from the pass shows that he's not processing where the ball is going to end up quickly enough. And the thing with great deep threats is that they see where the ball is going and they run to the spot. You know, a guy like Worthy, it seems that at the last second he's trying to find the ball, and this leads to missed opportunities just like this play. The final game of the season against Washington was definitely one to forget for Worthy, as here he drops an easy touchdown. This might have been a fluke game, as I didn't see as many frequent mistakes in other games, but it's definitely something to look out for. His inability to track and finish deep balls could actually be a serious issue and limit him at the next level. Overall, I think Worthy has definitely got to watch this year. He's excellent off the snap and has multiple ways to carve out a leverage advantage. He explodes in and out of his routes while also selling them well. He understands different coverages and processes defenses quickly, while also being a threat at all three levels of the field. However, he's not built big and can't be expected to consistently win over the middle. He has concentration drops and seems to have issues tracking deep balls consistently, which leads to missed opportunities. He's likely to go in the teens or early 20s in the draft if everything goes well in his junior season, but he's definitely a weapon and will be very exciting to watch at the next level. Anyways, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know which player you want to see next, and let me know what you think of Xavier Worthy. And yeah, I'm out.